Congrats. The show is so funny. Congrats, season 3.
Thank you.
Yes.
We just got picked up for 4. So 3's on that.
They would be stupid not to. The show, I'm not fully caught up, but the show is so funny. Your character was working on his marriage, though, at the end of the last season. What's going on now?
My wife had a little indiscretion.
Yeah.
And so we were working on that.
Yes.
And this season, the whole show is about moving forward, right? So 1 was about loss and pain, and 2 was about forgiveness, season, and 3 is about moving forward.
Yeah.
How we all have to keep going on.
Yeah.
And make choices that move us forward.
Yeah.
And so Derek is the guy who's there for everybody. And Derek is going to get challenged this season with his kids. And he's got one that won't leave the house. And he has to say, look, you know, it's time for you to move on.
Yeah.
So that has happened. And I have 2 boys. I can relate. Not that, in fact, my wife and I, because we're fire victims in the Palisades, we actually live in my son's house, and I think he's about to tell me.
Get out!
Yeah, it's time to move on.
Wait, so besides Jason Segel and Harrison Ford, you've had a number of great co-stars, and you worked, I have to talk about this because I love Loretta Lynn. You worked with Loretta Lynn, right?
Yes, many years ago. It was one of my first guest spots. I want to say
Island?
Fantasy Island.
Yeah.
And so years later, I was working with Loretta Lynn, and Heather Locklear was her niece. And so I was with Loretta Lynn, but I was hitting on Heather Locklear. And I later married Heather on Dynasty. So I got my payback. But so Loretta was a little bit nervous, and the producer came up and said, you know, she's never kissed anyone but her husband.
Oh.
And she had to kiss me on screen.
She didn't taste any of the flavors in that shop. She just went with the one.
I think she got a little nervous, and they said, look, don't give her any tongue.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna give her.
You're gonna do that?
Yeah. On the Love Boat we did that, but not on. Not on that show.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so wait, you also did a play with Burt Reynolds. How did that come about? I was in love with him and wanted to marry him when I was a kid.
It
was the stash, you know.
Well, he was a badass.
Yeah.
He was a great guy.
Smokey and the Bandit.
So much fun. Yeah, I grew up on that. Right?
Yeah.
And so I did a movie with him in Toronto, directed by Michael Crichton, the author. And so it was a very unusual experience. Anyway, Burt said, hey, I've got a theater down in Florida, Jupiter. Would you be interested in coming down and do something with us if I direct it? And I thought, are you kidding? Yeah, of course I would. And I assume, people always say that in Hollywood, right?
Oh, yeah,
we'll do that. And then it never happens.
Yeah.
So Burt calls me up, says, I'm doing it. We're doing it in 2 weeks. Will you come down? I said, yeah. I show up at Palm Beach Airport. Burt Reynolds picked me up in his Cadillac, all white, blackout windows, like blackout. And the windows come down, and he goes, get in, kid.
So sexy.
It was so cool.
So cool and sexy.
Oh, it was
That's cool.
Yeah, he had a great ranch down there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we had helicopters and planes.
I don't do helicopters.
You don't do helicopters?
Hell no. Nope. I had one person that helped build helicopters tell me one thing, and I was like, I'm good.
Well, Harrison Ford flies a helicopter.
Good for him.
And
Good for him. Yeah. He and Tom Cruise and all the others can just live it up in the air. But the story doesn't end there. So you get to the theater, and then you met someone.
So we went straight from the airport to the theater, and the apprentice that work at the theater, they were doing a show.
Yeah.
And sort of a showcase. And he said, let's get back there. And it was a big room in the back of the theater, and we had dinner, and it was myself, Burt, and Lonnie, and we watched the apprentices do a show. And the first person out on stage was my soon-to-be wife.
That's right.
And I met my wife strictly because of Burt Reynolds. And it was...
Sexy and a matchmaker.
Yeah.
Yes. That's such a beautiful story, such a rom-com.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. We're very indebted to Burt for many years, and for many reasons, really. And, you know, I had to fly up to Toronto to meet Burt in order to get the film. And so if he hadn't, there was another guy up for it, and they picked me, thank God. But if it had gone the other way, I never would have met my wife. I never would have had my kids.
Yeah.
The ones I had. You know, it's just interesting how.
Oh, every little
works.
decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, but see, I stress about that.
Yeah.
Like with a lot of anxiety, and I'm like, should I do that? If I do this, what will happen? What will I get? Like, and I'm like, well, maybe if I don't do this, this will happen. And then I go down the rabbit hole, and then I just go to bed and say yes or no. I just flip a coin. I'm like, I don't know. I get very stressed about that. The sliding doors movie.
My wife tells me what to do.
Oh, yeah.
Sliding
Good
doors,
job.
that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. My wife will just say yes or no, and I say, okay.
Oh, good job. Okay, okay. We need another break. You can catch Shrinking Season 3 on Apple TV if you're smart, because it's so good.